Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Hello. We're going to start with the public hearing on 1, 2, 3, 4 bills. Start with Senator McCray. However you want to do it.
Got McCray and McKay again. Don't do that.
Aye. Yes, sir.
Good afternoon. I'd like to call up my panel,
Please.
Nicole Hart. All
You
right.
can begin whenever you're ready.
Yes, sir. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Dear Chair Gazone, Vice Chair, and esteemed members of the committee. I urge your support for Senate Bill 724, which protects heir-occupied properties in Baltimore City by ensuring they are withheld from tax sale. Too often, families who inherit homes face displacement due to unpaid taxes despite rightful occupancy. This bill provides necessary safeguards to prevent unnecessary foreclosures and keep generational homes within families. Senate Bill 724 requires Baltimore City to withhold heir-occupied properties from tax sale if they meet established criteria. Additionally, it mandates the creation of a citywide registry, allowing heirs to designate properties for protection. The State Department of Assessments and Taxation will assist in implementing and maintaining this registry, ensuring an effective process. Additionally, the city supports this bill. They believe that while there may be potential costs, it is worth the effort, and it's only affecting one jurisdiction. So by modernizing Baltimore's tax sale system, this legislation prevents the forced removal of families from their homes, stabilizes communities, and preserves intergenerational wealth. I respectfully ask for your support in passing Senate Bill 724.
Terrific. Great testimony. I think I missed your name at the beginning, though.
Oh, my bad. Jacques Thompson.
And you are with?
I'm an intern for Senator Corey P. McCray. I'm a little bit nervous. Sorry.
Well, you did a great job. You don't have to be nervous. Terrific job. Yes, this.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair and members of the Senate Committee. My name is Nicole Hart. I am from Department of Housing and Community Development of Baltimore City, and we have submitted written testimony. But I would like to submit testimony today to talk about tangled titles as a barrier to generational wealth and housing stability. Tangled titles significantly disrupt generational wealth by preventing heirs from assessing a home's value and legal ownership. Without clear title, families struggle to obtain homeowners insurance, qualify for local assistance programs, and or receive essential benefits, all while still being responsible for the property taxes and upkeep. In Baltimore City, tangled titles disproportionately affect Black residents, making this a critical racial equity issue. Many heirs cannot access a city's home repair or tax deferral assistance programs because applicants must be listed on the deed. Instead, families who've lived in these homes for generations are forced to seek pro bono legal assistance for deed transfers, a process that can be lengthy, leave homes vulnerable to deterioration due to deferred maintenance. A key strategy in the city's effort to reduce vacancy is proactive estate planning for older adults. Home ownership is one of the most powerful tools for building and transferring wealth, but tangled titles hinder this process. Addressing this issue requires increased resources, awareness, and a comprehensive approach to ensure that families can retain and benefit from their most valuable asset, their home. Thank you.
Thank you. Questions for the panel? Thank you very much. Oh, who had a question? Oh, sorry. Okay, here's the question.
No question, just a comment, Mr. Chair. She caught me off guard because I usually see her via email, so usually I'm seeing her via email. But I just wanted to thank Ms. Hart not only for the service that she does for our city, but she is a constituent. So I do appreciate you advocating because you understand fully the impact that takes place. I don't get to see Annapolis every day, so that's why I thought it was important to say that, Mr. Chair.
Very good. Okay, thank you very much. I have 4 people who all seem to be favorable with amendments. Claudia Wilson Randall. Are any of these folks, anybody here has testified on this bill? Oh, yeah, come on up, yep. Stephen Capon, John Kern. And whoever wants to begin, that's fine.
All right. Good afternoon. My name is Nika Namdi. I'm the Executive Director of the SOS Fund. I'm also founder and Chief Operating Officer of Fight Blight Be More. We are here supporting Senate Bill 724 with amendments. We really do we stand in support of this bill because it will reduce vulnerabilities to home equity and neighborhood loss, but we think that the bill could be strengthened by the amendments that are listed in our written testimony. And I'll just briefly give you examples of them. The most important of the amendments has to do with adding language to the bill that would allow the city's tax sale ombudsman to compel the city collector, in this case Bureau of Revenue Collections, to remove properties from tax sale where there has been, it has been discovered that the property is misclassified, which could happen to an heir's property, or where there has been a notification issue regarding the final bill and legal notice or any other notice about tax sale. Also, in cases where a payment has been misapplied to the wrong bill or to the wrong tax year. And that particular amendment would really help us in our work. We do outreach to families. We have recently run a research project and identified 7,700 heirs properties in Baltimore City, many of whom are in tax sale, right? And so being able to have the tax sale ombudsman compel the collector to remove people from tax sale or void a tax certificate would help us in the process of taking these homeowner heirs through the probate administration process in order to clear the debts so that they could retain their legacy wealth. And so we again support Senate Bill 724 with our suggested amendments.
Greetings, Chair and Committee. My name is John Kern. I'm with the SOS Fund, and we help residents stay in their homes in Baltimore City. As many of you know, over the past number of years, the mayor has pulled owner-occupied properties from the tax sale, and this has been a huge help across the city. But just to the point of the bill, most of the clients we've seen over the past couple of years have been residents that would be affected by this bill directly, as they are heirs properties and misclassified properties. Just for a little context around this, I think folks know about heirs properties maybe from a rural perspective, but maybe less so in an urban perspective. Heirs property is a huge issue up and down the coast. There was enormous amounts of land loss over the last century because people are in the most vulnerable situation when they are in an heirs property. In the whole national context of this, you know, the banks are actually very interested in this as well. Ms. Hart mentioned that these residents aren't eligible for programs that would help them stay in their homes. They're also not eligible for the commensurate financing that they often need in deferred maintenance on the house. So when we talk about folks moving back into Baltimore City, which we definitely want to see, there are a lot of heirs that are living outside the city that would be interested in coming back, reclaiming their properties, joining their family members in the home, but there maybe need some financing. And of course, they're not eligible for any of that if their names aren't on the deed. So having the registry is so great to help with city programs programs, but also to get access to financing. And just the conservative estimate around this is that nationwide, $42 billion is locked up in heirs property. It's equity in the house that cannot be accessed. And it would be accessed for great home repairs, loans, things like that. So I think overall I support it with amendments, and I would definitely say and commend the sponsor for introducing it and recognizing heirs properties as an enormous problem. And this registry is a first step to say to the heirs, hey, we acknowledge this tough situation that you're in, and we want to work together as agencies and as the city to get you in the right spot. So thanks so much. Favorable with amendments.
Thank you, Chair, members in the committee. My name is Stephen Coppin. I'm an attorney with the Maryland Volunteer Lawyer Service, and I'm actually the Tangle Title Program Manager at that organization. So my entire job, my entire role is helping clients and families navigate title issues like this bill is trying to address. So our organization supports this bill with the amendments as proposed by Fight Blight Be More. And that's because this bill is critical, but we think it needs a little bit more to be properly effective and actually achieve the goals that it is trying to achieve. One of those reasons is that the actual registry that it would be establishing, we think that the tax sale ombudsman in the city would be the proper official with the proper mission and the proper alignment to implement pulling people actually out of the tax sale. For context, a client of mine, people with these issues, my specific client has dealt with this issue and not known about it since the 80s when their family member passed away. And I think for a lot of people, it might be curious to find out why they never took the steps to record a new deed. And that's mainly because there was no issue. They were living in the family home for decades without anyone actually asking them a second question about it. And so when they came to us to solve this issue, they had actually been through the tax sale process 3 times. And redeemed the home each one of those times. But for the past several years, they've been able to actually access tax credit relief that would have kept them out of the tax sale. But they can't access those tax credit reliefs and improve the heating elements in their home for these 2 seniors without actually having their name on the deed. So that's just an example of the hundreds of clients that we work with every year who are dealing with this issue. And there are many, many more in the city that we would like to help. So we support it with the amendments. Thank you.
Thank you. Questions for this panel? Senator Benson?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. On the bill itself, it indicates, it says, requiring Baltimore City to establish a registry for interested parties to designated property to be held from tax sale under certain provisions of law. Could you clarify provisions under certain provisions of law? What does that mean? Are the laws already established? I mean, where would you find this?
So I believe that the bill as currently written refers to other grants in the statutes that allow things to be withheld from tax sale. So there are certain statutes that the mayor's authority for withholding properties from the tax sale, as previously alluded to. There are certain statutes that provide that grant, and I believe that what the current bill is referring to.
Thank you. Thank you for that question.
Any other questions? Thank you very much. Is there anyone else to testify on this bill? Okay. All right, let's move on to Senator Ellis, 725.
Good afternoon, Chair Gazoni, Vice Chair Rosa Pep, and members of the Senate Budget and Taxation Committee. Senator Arthur Ellis, District 28, Charles County. Here with a proposal with Senate Bill 725 to bring in hundreds of millions of dollars in new revenues to Maryland and benefits to Charles County and the Southern Maryland region using a oft-overlooked constitutional provision that exists. Right now, and for the last couple hundred years, Maryland owned 100% of the Potomac River, shore to shore. In Colonial Beach, Virginia, the second largest beach in attendance in Virginia, exists this facility called the Riverboat on the Potomac. Let me tell you something else that's weird. It's not a boat. It's a solid structure that sits over on the Potomac River, made of concrete and very large, that historically have gone back many years, that basically a lot of different gambling establishments were there. Currently, it's an OTB, off-track betting location. And this body, when we passed sports betting a few years ago, made it possible for the Riverboat on the Potomac to get a sports betting license, part of the franchise. That still exists. And I just want to say that we are missing a tremendous amount of revenues possibly coming from the Riverboat on the Potomac having a VLT, Video Lottery Terminal license. Why would that not interfere with our current casinos? Well, from my home in southern Charles County, it takes approximately 1 hour for me to get to the Riverboat on the Potomac, deep in Virginia. Imagine us, we're a military force, a country, powerful country, and we have a base at a location like, say, Guantanamo Bay in Cuba. You know, we control that location, but it's not on our territory. Therefore, you'll hear testimony from Riverboat later on saying that 80+% of the visitors to the Riverboat on the Potomac do not come from Maryland. They come from Virginia. So this is a no-brainer. We will not be competing with our current casinos if we do VLTs at the Riverboat on the Potomac. And the provisions of Senate Bill 725 is, of course, to put video lottery terminals at the Riverboat on the Potomac to increase revenues. And I have a few selfish ambitions for my district in Southern Maryland region. We want the community benefit agreement that will come from this very profitable casino at the outpost at the Riverboat on the Potomac in Colonial Beach, Virginia. Again, I'll say that's the second busiest beach in Virginia. The number one most visited beach in Virginia is, of course, Virginia Beach. So you can imagine this other beach, it's really a beach, but sand and a lot of visitors laying, basically taking in the rays and getting in the water on the Potomac River. By the way, Maryland's own Potomac River, right there in Colonial Beach. On the current law, all video lottery facilities have a portion of the terminal's proceeds go towards certain programs, such as small, minority, women-owned businesses. And since the inception of this account in 2007 to currently, over $130 million was deployed to small and minority, women-owned businesses from video lottery terminal proceeds in Maryland. This fund will be augmented by available VLTs at the Riverboat on the Potomac. One benefit for it, also, you look at monies that goes from our gaming facilities go into our blueprint for Maryland future. It's a no-brainer for us to really look at basically taking advantage of our unique constitutional provision that grants us, the state of Maryland, full ownership of the Potomac River, and this facility, the Riverboat on the Potomac, which is part and currently return tax revenues to Maryland based on revenues around $2 million. Well, I think we can up that to several $100 million to really help our state and our region in Southern Maryland. So with that, colleagues, I ask for a favorable report on Senate Bill 725.
Thank you, Senator. Good afternoon, Chair Gazzoni, Vice Chair Rosenpep, honorable members of the Senate Budget and Taxation Committee. For the record, my name is Antonio Jones, and I'm managing partner of Riverboat on the Potomac, a 100% minority business enterprise, gaming and entertainment facility that has proudly served Maryland and the surrounding region for over 3 decades. I submit this testimony in strong support of Senate Bill 725, which will allow the awarding of a video lottery operation license in Charles County. As a wholly owned African-American and Indian immigrant minority business, Riverboat on the Potomac presents a kind of economic inclusion that Maryland has long sought to support and promote. Expanding gaming operations at our facility through the addition of video lottery terminals will further strengthen our already thriving minority-owned business, creating new jobs, increasing investments in the local community, and generating significant new state tax revenue. A critical component of the operation, our opportunity sets in, is a unique geographical position of the facility. As Senator Ellis has already mentioned, it sits on the Potomac River. It attracts a substantial number of visitors from Virginia, making it a key source of out-of-state revenue. Our location gives Maryland the rare advantage of drawing more Virginia residents into our gaming ecosystem. This means that the tax revenue generated by Senate Bill 725 will bring in fresh revenue from outside of the state, benefiting Maryland's economy without increasing tax burden on our residents. By approving Senate Bill 725, Maryland has the opportunity to support a successfully longstanding MBE while also strengthening the competitive edge in the region's gaming industry. Neighboring states have already expanded their gaming opportunities. Maryland should not lose out on this opportunity to benefit from this new revenue. This bill is not just about gaming. It is about economic development, supporting minority-owned businesses, and capitalizing on a revenue stream that largely comes from outside of the state. I urge you, as a committee, to give Senate Bill 725 a favorable report and allow Maryland to benefit from this unique, valuable revenue stream. I'm here to answer any questions you may have of me. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you. Questions for this panel? Okay, thank you very much, Senator.
Thank you.
Okay. Senate Bill 730, Charles County Senators.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Also have Mr. Vice Chairman, I have a witness that's going to be on virtual from the County Attorney's Office. And Senator Ellis is obviously welcome to sit up here with me. Good afternoon, Mr. Vice Chair, members of the Budget and Taxation Committee. For the record, Senator Michael Jackson, District 27, part of District 27, which is 27A, sits in Charles County. So myself and Senator Ellis are in support of this piece of legislation. This is a local bill. We have our letter from the county commissioners as well as from the delegations. Senate Bill 730 is a Charles County local bill that repeals the Charles County Gaming Permit Review Board and transfers those responsibilities to the County Attorney's Office. This Permit Review Board currently is largely an inactive board whose primary task is to review permitting applications for gaming events that awards prizes valued over $1,000. Due to the specific nature of the work with which this board is tasked, its utility can be best maximized with the transfer of these duties to the County Attorney's Office. And with that, Mr. Vice Chair, we ask for a favorable report, and I would love for our county attorney to speak to this matter as well.
Okay, thank you, please.
Good afternoon, Chairman, Vice Chairman, members of the committee. Danielle Mitchell, Assistant Deputy County Attorney for Charles County Government. I'm here on behalf of the Board of County Commissioners in support of SB 730. You do have the County Commissioners' written testimony, and Senator Jackson has summed it up very nicely, but essentially we're looking to make this process administrative, which is really what it has been over the last several years. We have not had requests for pricing permits over the $1,000 prize level, and so this board has not met, and we tend to have residents who are looking to become active in our community, who will apply to our boards, committees, and commissions. And with this one, we have to say, maybe you don't want to apply to that because we really don't have any work for you to do, which is not a great, tag. So we would like to really just clean this up administratively and allow the law to reflect what's really been happening, which is that the board is not active. And when we do have these gaming applications, they've always been under $1,000 recently, and we've handled that with our county attorney's office. So we would like to do the same thing for over the $1,000 value. And that concludes my remarks. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any questions for the sponsor or for the attorney? Let me just ask the sponsor a question. Is this kind of a thoughtful, well-structured approach to government efficiency?
I believe so, absolutely.
Okay. Thank you.
And it's an inclusive one as well.
Inclusive one. This concludes the hearing.
Thank you very much.
Thank
The next bill is Senate Bill 763, Senator McKay.
Mr. Vice Chair, members of the committee, Mike McKay presenting Senate Bill 763. Now, this bill is for Garrett County hotel rental tax alterations. You did hear a version of this bill last year. I did withdrew it. It had some couple of little quirks that we needed to work out. But this year's bill does propose some essential changes that will expand the definition of a hotel to include transient vacation rental units and require short-term rental platforms to perform certain duties that are related to the collection and remittance of county hotel rental tax. These changes enable Garrett County to collect an accommodation tax on the properties rented through or on with online rental platforms such as Airbnb, VRBO, and ensure that the accommodations contributing to the local tourism industry is fairly taxed, providing that the level playing field for the traditional hotels and short-term rentals alike. You will see that I do believe that the comptroller did put in a bill similar to this. And so if you end up passing the comptroller's bill supported by her, it would cover this as well. But if you decide that you want to just take care of Western Maryland, Garrett County, we would encourage a favorable report on Senate Bill 763 and look forward to any of the following questions you may ask.
Thank you very much. Any questions for Senator McKay? Yes, Senator Jackson.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chair. Senator McKay, thank you for the clarification on the bill this year.
Yes, sir.
I believe it's in a posture that I could support this locally.
Thank you.
You have your, oh.
There is a local letter in your packet, yes, sir, from the county commissioners in support. I didn't know if they were dialing in or not. Okay. Well, then I would like to to highlight that the Board of County Commissioners have a support letter in your file.
Any other questions? That concludes the hearing.